What's up, guys? Steve back again. You can follow me on Twitter at StevePBets. Today, we're going to be diving into some NBA content. The season's going to be here before we know it. Starts in 1 week and 1 day. And as much as I love the NFL, and I do love the NFL, NBA is my favorite sport to watch, to bet on, and to talk about. So I'm really looking forward to putting together some videos leading up to the NBA season, covering some future bets, some prop bets, some team totals that I like, and things of that nature. But we're going to start today looking at the MVP market. And the first thing I want to say is it's really important to line shop. Now, unfortunately, on OddsJam, we don't have a odds screen yet for futures, but that's coming soon. So keep an eye on that. But for the time being, you can still just line shop the old-fashioned way, going to a variety of different sites. And I did so before looking into this. And, FanDuel to me seems to be the best book for a lot of futures, be it golf outrights or just, player props in the MVP market and so forth. And from all the books I looked at, FanDuel does have the best price on the player that I like to win it most likely, and that's Luka Doncic. He's 380 on DraftKings. I think he's 400 on MGM, and he's even less than that on some offshore. So he's definitely the market favorite, and I do think that's warranted for a variety of reasons. The MVP race heading into the season does seem to be wide open. I mean, the odds do reflect that. Really, there's three co-favorites. Now, granted, Luka is the favorite, but he was last year as well. And he came close. He finished sixth in overall voting, but the team just wasn't good enough. But really, you're looking at Luka, Embiid, Durant, and Giannis, and then you have, Curry in that 9-1, 10-1 range, although he's a little bit less on FanDuel. But yeah, the reason that I like Luka, Luka, for my money, um, I mean, obviously, KD's the best scorer in the league. KD is the best player, but he also is a lot older than Luka. Luka, he's only 22, and he continues to get better each season. The one knock that I had against him heading into last year was he looked a little bit out of shape. He looked a little bit overweight. This year, he looks great coming into camp. He's in great shape. He's in the best condition of his career. And the Mavericks last year, they were a fringe playoff contender. This year, though, without Carlisle and Jason Kidd at the helm, I like them a lot more. And in the offseason, they didn't get a quality second ball handler. So meaning, the load's going to be all on Doncic to carry the team. But he's more than capable of handling it. So when I'm looking for an MVP guy, I'm looking for, a player who is going to be able to put up massive numbers. So that's why, as much as I like Durant as a player, I don't really love him, especially at the current odds for the MVP price, considering that he's going to be splitting time, or just splitting votes with Harden and potentially Kyrie. Granted, Kyrie's going to most likely not be playing in half the games, but still, it's going to be between him and Harden. Splitting votes if the Nets are as good as the odds, kind of suggest with them being a 2-1 favorite to win the title. And then also, Doncic, he's just been dominating professional basketball ever since he's been playing professionally at 16 years old. He actually finished fourth in MVP voting last year, and then he finished sixth in MVP voting the year before. If you just look at his most recent play in the Olympics, he was probably the best player in the Olympics. He single-handedly carried Slovenia to the semifinals. He almost averaged a triple-double. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he averages a triple-double in the NBA this season. He's going to need to have a huge production given the roster. And it's, we saw with Russell Westbrook, the NBA voters are enamored with that. Even if the team's not great, but you can average a triple-double, it's going to pretty much lock you in to winning the MVP award. So I think as long as the Mavs can make the playoffs and, be, even a fifth or fourth or fifth seed, which I think is doable. This will be Luka's award to lose as long as he stays healthy as the season's winding down. The two other guys who I think have some decent odds. KD, on Fanduel, he is a second co-favorite, but as I touched on, I just don't like him or Harden because they're going to poach each other's stats, poach each other's votes. Obviously Giannis. You know, what's to be said about Giannis? I mean, he's elevated his game. He was completely dominant in the playoffs, took over the finals, and if he ever gets that mid-range jumper and the three-pointer locked in, he has potential to be unstoppable. But he just won it 2 years ago, and the voters typically like to give it to new players. So, that brings me to Embiid. Embiid was actually my favorite pick to win this before the news broke today that Simmons might be coming back. Obviously, if Simmons comes back, I think it's a terrible decision. I'll actually be surprised if it happens, but this is a subject for another video. But, just the floor spacing with Simmons and Embiid doesn't work. So those two really cannot coexist in the same team. So if Simmons comes back officially, I'll be a lot more bearish on Embiid. And also, Embiid just can't stay healthy. We saw it last year. He was the favorite late in the year, then he got hurt, and then his odds plummeted, and eventually the Joker took over and won. The other wild card, the dark horse that I could maybe see would be Anthony Davis at 28-1. I love LeBron. He's my favorite player of all time. I still think he's probably the second best player in the league when healthy, next to KD. But, at 37 years old, he's probably not going to, especially with the way how they constructed the roster, he's probably not going to get enough playing time during the regular season to really have the stats to warrant the MVP. Plus, that's a brand new team with a bunch of new veteran pieces. It's going to take them a while to gel. So I look for them to start off, and it's probably unlikely that they finish even with the top seed in the West. So for those reasons, I don't like LeBron. If AD, another guy who's made of glass, can stay healthy and play 70 games, I think he'll be right there with Luka and Embiid come the end of the season. So really, I mean, Davis is probably the best value, but I think you can even get better value if you wait and the Lakers start off slow. If you can grab him around 30-1 or higher and have Doncic in your pocket at plus 500, I think that'd be a great portfolio, for the first month of the season. And then, we can continue to assess it as the season rolls on. So I am going to place a bet on Doncic at plus 500 to start. And then, this is a fluid market that we can continue to assess as the season rolls on. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of update videos, as the season starts and progresses. Keep an eye because we're going to start a NBA series touching on team totals, futures, things of that nature. Really looking forward to starting that. You can expect those videos to drop in the middle of the week. Thanks, guys. Good luck with your bets. Talk to you soon.